In the 2022 action thriller, The Contractor, the guns are hiding secrets the filmmakers never meant to reveal. That sleek-looking carbine the contractors are carrying in the laboratory scene. It's not the HK 416 the film wants you to think it is. And once you see why, you can't unsee it. We'll break that down fully, and we'll also get to the weapon in this film with a direct connection to one of the most notorious political kidnappings in modern European history. But first, the one weapon James Harper never lets go of. Harper carries the Glock 19 throughout the film, compact, reliable, and chambered in the 9mm round that has outlasted every attempt to replace it. When Gaston Glock, a curtain rod manufacturer with zero firearms experience, submitted his design to the Austrian military in the early 1980s, the industry laughed. They stopped laughing fast. The Glock 19 has been documented firing over 300,000 rounds in endurance testing without failure, carries only 34 components, and in 2016 became the official sidearm of U.S. Special Operations Command. It is, at this point, less a pistol and more a standard of measure for everything that comes after it. But when the German police close in on Harper, they bring a pistol that looks like it was built for the same world he inhabits. Because it was. The officers arrive carrying the HK USP, a gun whose entire existence traces back to a single bloody morning in Miami in 1986, when two bank robbers absorbed dozens of FBI rounds and kept fighting. That incident forced Heckler & Koch to rethink everything. The USP launched in 1993, and the German Bundeswehr adopted it almost immediately. A prototype survived 20,000 rounds of continuous testing without measurable degradation. One example, sent in for factory service, had reportedly fired 200,000 rounds before its owner asked for maintenance. It became a cultural icon when Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six put it on the cover in 1998. An image that embedded the USP's silhouette into a generation's imagination permanently. The police don't arrive with just pistols. Slung across their chests is a submachine gun whose silhouette alone defined what the word operator looks like to the entire world. The HK MP5 was born from the same DNA as a full-sized battle rifle, borrowing its roller-delayed blowback system directly from the G3, a mechanism far more complex than any 9mm submachine gun technically required. That complexity is precisely the point. The MP5 became the defining image of counterterrorism after SAS operators stormed the Iranian embassy in London in 1980, live on television. It fires from a closed bolt, rare for a submachine gun, which gives it the surgical accuracy required for hostage rescue. Known examples have exceeded 500,000 rounds on the original barrel and receiver. Over 120 variants exist, fielded in more than 50 nations. But not every weapon in this film was built for professionals. The man who orchestrated this entire operation reaches for something so unexpected that its presence says more about him than any line of dialogue. Rusty Jennings levels a heavily customized Marlin Model 336, fitted with a Midwest Industries handguard and a scope. The 336 is not a tactical rifle. It is a hunting rifle, built for patience and knowing the ground. It entered production in 1948, and its defining advantage over other lever actions is side ejection. Spent cases exit from the side of the receiver, meaning a scope can sit directly over the bore in a way the Winchester 94 never allowed. Ruger acquired the bankrupt Marlin brand in 2020 and relaunched the 336 in 2023. By at least one account from a former Marlin marketing director, the new Ruger-made versions are the finest 336s ever produced. Now, that political kidnapping I mentioned at the start. The weapon responsible is about to appear on screen, and it's barely larger than a thick paperback novel. One of Rusty's men fires a Skorpion VZ-61, a weapon so compact it was designed to fit fully concealed inside a shoulder holster. Czech engineer Miroslav Rybar built it from scratch in 1959 and used the project as his doctoral dissertation. His colleague proved the concept by walking into a military review board, opening his jacket, and placing the Skorpion on the table. Hidden the entire time the committee had been debating whether it was even possible. A weighted plunger in the grip physically delays the bolt, holding the cyclic rate to a manageable 840 rounds per minute. Over 207,000 were manufactured. Then came 1978, when the Italian Red Brigades used Skorpions to ambush and kidnap former Prime Minister Aldo Moro in broad daylight in Rome, killing all 5 bodyguards in under a minute. The weapon was chosen for exactly the reason it was designed. It disappeared until the very last second. The contractors themselves go to work with something altogether more modern, and this is where that second secret finally comes out. On screen, the contractors carry what the film seems to present as the HK 416, the rifle that quietly replaced the M4 in some of the most elite units on Earth. Except it isn't. What you're actually seeing is the HK MR223, the civilian semi-automatic counterpart. And this almost certainly wasn't a mistake. The film shot largely in Germany, where fully automatic weapons are simply unavailable to film productions through legal channels. The MR223 was what the armorer could put on set. The filmmakers didn't need to hide it either, because watch the firefight sequences carefully, and the contractors never fire bursts. Even during suppressive fire, every trigger pull produces exactly 1 shot. The gun is behaving precisely like the semi-automatic rifle it actually is. Internally, it runs the same short-stroke gas piston system as the military 416, a fundamental redesign away from direct impingement that allowed the HK 416 to fire 10,000 rounds on full auto in factory testing without a single malfunction. And when Rusty's men flood the streets, they carry a rifle born from Cold War paranoia, built by a country that spent decades proving it wasn't entirely under Moscow's control. The Pistol Mitragliera Model 1990, also known as the PM Model 90, is Romania's Kalashnikov, internally identical to the AKM, but dressed in a body Romania made its own, with a distinctive wooden forward pistol grip no Soviet rifle ever carried. Romania didn't just copy the design. They exported it to both Iraq and Iran simultaneously during their 8-year war, arming opposing sides without apology. The U.S. Army later acquired Romanian AK variants from third parties to equip OP-4 training units simulating Soviet-armed adversaries. The civilian Draco pistol, a direct derivative with the stock removed, has since become one of the most recognizable AK variants ever imported into the United States. When the mission demands something shorter and built for close quarters, Harper reaches for a platform designed for the kind of war no one is supposed to know happened. The Daniel Defense Mark 18 exists because the U.S. Navy needed something the size of a submachine gun that still hit like a rifle. Its 10.3-inch barrel traces back to the SOPMOD program, and Daniel Defense won the U.S. SOCOM contract to supply the rail interface system. Daniel Defense actually started as a company making a single product, a sling adapter. That one contract grew into a decade-long relationship supplying RS-2 rails to US SOCOM and other military units that continues to this day. Despite being called the Navy SEAL rifle, it's been fielded by Army Special Forces, Marine Force Recon, MARSOC, and Coast Guard tactical teams. That's every weapon in The Contractor, a film whose props tell a story the screenplay barely bothers to explain. A kidnapper's machine pistol, hiding inside a contractor thriller, and a civilian rifle standing in for a military weapon, firing one shot at a time, because German law left the armorer no other choice. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see more of these videos, check out this next one, and make sure to subscribe.